Hello everybody, my name's Hallie, this is Sadie. A lot of you guys are joining us from Instagram, her little account where you see all our photography and everything every day. But I thought I would start the second half of her All About Me video with her adoption story. Her story is pretty interesting. I didn't get her the usual route of getting her as a puppy or getting her from the local shelter. She actually was being rehomed by a very sweet family, and that's how she came to live with me. It was a long period of trial and error. I was trying to find the perfect fit for my family at the time, and I was still living at home, but then also my personal needs and wants, and I wanted my first ever dog. When I originally wanted to look for a dog, I was looking everywhere. I was looking on shelters, I was looking at private rescues, and I was looking at breeders. I knew I wanted a high energy dog, and I knew I wanted a medium to large size dog. Not too small, not too big. But other than that, I was really open to pretty much anything. I'd had only relatives had dogs before, and I never actually had any experience myself. A lot of times I'd been looking into breeds like bully breed mixes like pit bulls and American Staffies. I was also looking into things like Weimaraners. Dalmatians were ones I looked into a lot. Kind of like that medium to short hair coat. Pretty much wide open. My mom wanted something that didn't shed very much, but we broke that rule pretty early on because this one sheds like a maniac. But I love her for it. I don't mind. She's like, you're making fun of me. After looking on shelter websites and looking through breeders and private rescues and going to rescue events all over San Diego County where I grew up, I just wasn't finding the perfect match. There wasn't that, like, I guess it's cheesy, but there wasn't that spark in anything that I'd seen. Even like the cutest, tiniest puppies to really sweet, well-trained older dogs, I just didn't find that perfect match. So I began looking on Craigslist, which I do not recommend. It's usually full of very unscrupulous people who are just looking out to make a quick buck off of some backyard bred puppies and whatnot. But I came across this ad with a picture of a much younger, teenager-looking Sadie, and she was standing on this big boulder overlooking a beautiful canyon out in Ramona, which is like northeast of San Diego County. You can come back up here, pup. Sadie, come. It's okay. Good girl. Her little booty. Come here, Sue. Come on. It's all right. Come here. Ah, there we go. Anyway, I saw the photo of the ad, and it just said, 1-year-old Queensland heeler needs a new home, I believe is the title. And it talked about how she had just turned 1 a week ago, and she was being forced to give it away, so her family couldn't take care of her anymore, and they were really serious about finding her a good home, be screening people, and it would be a $50 rehoming fee. But I almost couldn't read any of that. I just barely skimmed it because I was so smitten with the photo. I'd never seen anything like this dog before. She looked like a dog I made up in my head as a little kid, which was a cross between a German Shepherd and a Dalmatian. So I went to Googling and, of course, forwarded the link to my mom and emailed the woman who put up the ad saying, when can I come meet this dog? I have to meet her. She looks beautiful. Tell me all about her. And we scheduled a meeting time. My mom was more than happy to go with us, drive me out there, because I want to say I was only like just turned 17 at the time. So I didn't really have a car yet or anything like that. We hiked out to Ramona, met Sadie and her then family out on their ranch where they had chickens and a horse, I believe, and another dog. And that's when I got to talking to them about why they were going to be giving her away. Because they clearly loved her so much. She was a beautifully healthy teenager dog. She had all this property to go on. They were an older couple, so they were home all the time to give her all sorts of attention. They trained her already. She knew sit. She could fetch, and she was already off-leash trained, and she responded to her name. And I was just baffled as to why they'd want to give her up. What came of it? The wife had an older brother, and he suffered a pretty serious stroke just a week or so before our meeting. And the brother had a fairly aggressive bully breed who had been fine with their older dog, but the last couple times they tried to introduce it to Sadie, it had gone pretty poorly. If you can take a look, I'm not sure if it'll show up on camera, but this notch in Sadie's ear is missing, and apparently that is from that dog bullying her a bit too much and attacking her when she was a baby. And they loved her to death. She was their new puppy. They'd only had her a little while, but they knew that this wasn't going to work out, and they had to take in their brother's dog. They couldn't force him to give up his dog just because he was sick and couldn't take care of his friend anymore, especially when he already got along with their other dog. So they did what they had to do. And of course, Connie, Sadie's old owner, was crying when all of this was happening, just a little bit of teary-eyed because she didn't want to give Sadie up, but it was a hard decision for them, but the right decision. After all this, and spending a couple hours there at their property and hanging out with Sadie and playing fetch with her and all that, we drove home. My mom told me to think about it because she saw Sadie, all her high energy and still pretty puppy, and she's like, "You sure you could handle that dog?" Australian cattle dogs and blue heelers, they're very, very high energy dogs, and we'd read about all that online. And I was like, no, this is exactly what I want. I want a high energy dog. Keep up with me. I want an adventure buddy. And Sadie seemed perfect. The next day, my mom convinced me to go just see one more group of puppies, some Labradoodles, I believe, from her choice, because of course she wanted a non-shedding dog. But we went. You know, they were a beautiful group of I think they were 10-week-old Labradoodles. They were all black and curly and fluffy and cute and bouncing all over the place, just absolutely adorable. And I think any other person would probably be like, heck yeah, I want the little tiny puppy. But I had already fallen absolutely madly in love with this squishy goober right here. And she was all gangly and teenager and all that stuff. And I was like, I don't want a puppy. I want this one. I want this girl. Huh. So we left the puppy house with all their cuteness. And I said, nope, I made up my mind. I need to go get Sadie. Right now. But my mom said, give it a day. Give it a day. How could I not want this? What are you doing, pup? What are you doing? Oh. Okay. I gotta focus on the story. I gotta focus, okay? Okay? Where was I? Oh, yes. When I finally decided to make Sadie mine. We called Connie up and told her that I'd made my decision and we were ready to pick her up as soon as she was available. We scheduled a day and we met at a horse park out in Poway, California, because she often worked at horse shows and stuff like that. We met there at early in the morning. You know, the sun was just poking through some morning clouds and mist, and she was just totally chill. I was surprised. She was totally right back. She didn't think anything was going on. She was ready to jump in our car at a moment's notice. We got all Sadie's supplies, a harness, a little bit of the food she'd been eating, some toys, a frisbee she was obsessed with at the time, just puppy stuff. And I very proudly, my 17-year-old self, got out my $50 in cash, and Connie tried to say, no, you don't need to give me that. It was just to keep away any bad people from the internet. You and Sadie are a good match for each other, and I'm happy she's going to somebody who's so excited to have her. But I was very determined. This was my dog, and it was important for me to pay for my dog myself. And we did. We hugged each other. Connie was still crying. We exchanged emails and that kind of thing. The private emails, not the Craigslist relay, so that we could keep in touch. And we went home. Sadie and I sat in the back seat. She was sticking her head out the window most of the way from my memory, and it was like that ever since. She's looking at a squirrel outside. Sadie, come here. Come here. I don't know what I'd be without her, because now she's my best friend and we're joined at the hip. She makes me laugh all the time, and she's the coolest little dog there ever was. Thank you guys for watching our second video. I have a lot more planned and I'm so excited. This is going so well. I want to say last time I checked there was like already 70 views on the first video. That's way more than I expected. My goal was only like 25 views. I was being rather conservative with it, but thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you'll stick around for the next one. Bye! Sadie, come say bye. You sit. You can get your paw. Bye-bye! Bye-bye! Mwah.